Hello again, and today we have another Imperial on Imperial match. We have Blair with Whisper with Veteran Instincts, Advanced Cloaking Device and Fire Control Systems, Crassus Trellix with Heavy Laser Cannon and Recon Specialist, and Nightbeast. William will be flying with Soontir Fel with Push the Limit, Echo with Veteran Instincts and Advanced Cloaking Device with Reconnaissance Specialist, as well as an Omicron Group Pilot with Advanced Sensors and Engine Upgrade. Here we go. And as per usual, we've got our asteroids pre-deployed, as well as our squads set up for their first movements. Here we have the Omicron Group Pilot making its first manoeuvre, followed by a boost for its engine upgrade, and then we'll have Nightbeast will lead off from the left-hand side of the table. So just performing a 5 straight there, pushing forward, trying to maximise the opportunity to attack Soontir Fel and Echo before the Omicron Group Pilot decides to arrive. And then we have Crassus just moving the 4 forward, but staying effectively in line with Nightbeast. And then we will have Echo, obviously being PS8, moving just standard straight 4 forward and clicking for his action. And then we have Whisper moving, so obviously Blair there having initiative, so moving before Soontir Fel, and indeed shooting before Soontir Fel, obviously. And preemptively assuming that there's a good chance that Soontir Fel might be within range, just taking the focus action instead of the cloak action at this point. Here we have Soontir Fel doing a 5 straight, and at this point William's just deciding whether or not he needs to turtle up, as it's likely that they will both be within range at this point. Well, looks pretty close. So just having some debate there as to whether or not, obviously not being able to measure, just deciding what to do. In the end, just deciding to turtle up. So the old double focus, evade stress for Soontir Fel. And indeed just double checking there and having a range 3 shot at Soontir Fel. So just getting the dice out, and we'll be rolling some red dice there for Whisper. Just 4 dice versus 4 dice on the other side of the table. So spending the focus there to kick over 2 hits, so I think that's 3 damage, but Soontir spending some number of tokens to evade the damage. Obviously stealth device there for Soontir as well, so getting another green dice, which is always helpful. Soontir rolling 3 straight hits all the way back, and there we go. Obviously Whisper actually taking a damage on that one, so Soontir getting the better of Whisper at that point. So jumping forward to dials. So starting off with a gentle bank for the Omicron Group Pilot with the advanced sensors, so boosting. And then unfortunately for Will, doing a 2 bank and just not quite predicting how far that the boost would take him, so he manages to fly onto an asteroid and indeed taking a damage and not being able to shoot this turn, so that's problematic for him. But then we'll have Nightbeast just performing a 3 turn there, coming in just trying to box in Soontir Fel if possible, just taking a focus action there I believe, and Crassus just doing a 2 turn in behind Nightbeast, again just trying to get enough wide arc for the heavy laser cannon to have a crack at Sunterfell when he assumably moves into range. Obviously we expect just a couple of focus tokens there. So Echo decloaking and banking backwards to the right to come and try and flank the Bounty Hunter and flanking the Crassus and Night Beast. So some pretty nifty manoeuvring there around the asteroid, getting into range 1 I believe of Crassus with a focus, so that's going to be a bit of damage. Here we have Whisper just deciding to decloak, trying to debate what Sunterfell is going to do, what the right option here is. Obviously with the Omicron group pilot stranded, it won't be shooting back anytime soon, and just sort of really trying to nut out what the best position for Whisper is. One of the harder ships to fly, obviously the Phantom, in the end deciding to go with the straight decloak to the right, and just going back as far as possible on that one, and then flipping the dial and indeed revealing a sharp 1 turn. Hopefully will put me in arc if and it does, puts the Whisper at range 1 of the Omicron group pilot, just taking a focus there, and here we'll see what Sunterfell has decided to do. So just doing a 2 bank there, possibly wasn't expecting Night Beast and Crassus to be where they are, and in the end, after as much debate, which I did actually chop out, as Will did debate what to do for quite some time, he has indeed opted to go for at least a barrel roll to start off with, and then go for a boost as well, so pushing a little bit to get himself a focus, and just trying to get out of arc, I think, was the plan of Night Beast. Not sure if he actually ended up making it or not. We'll see what happens during firing. So obviously moving on to shooting. So here we have Whisper at range 1 of the Omicron group pilot with a focus. So just looks like there was some focus there spent. It's a little bit glary, but I believe it was somewhere in the vicinity of 3 or 4 hits, and obviously fire control just triggering there, and recloaking, and indeed we'll get the extra, or should get the extra focus, although I may have neglected to add that on. So obviously we've got Sunterfell not having a shot, so it will obviously just be Echo there deciding to roll 5 dice and scoring a lot of pictures there. It was 4 hits against the Bounty Hunter, and I do believe that was pretty much all of the shields gone from Crassus, so not looking so good for Crassus. But now moving on to the Bounty Hunter, to Crassus and Night Beast, just deciding who's going to shoot, and as it turns out, Night Beast does have arc, but just out of range 1 of Sunterfell. So I do believe that it was heavy laser cannon from Crassus there, just rolling some dice against Sunterfell. There's stealth device. So I believe he did spend the focus there, but still took at least 1 or 2 damage, I believe. And then here we have Night Beast just deciding to get in there and just rolling a whole bunch of damage and a whole lot of blanks there from Will. So that was the end of Sunterfell. So that was rather unfortunate for Sunterfell, not getting a shot off this game either. So obviously jumping forward to Dials, and here we have the Omicron Group pilot, not really anywhere to go, so just deciding to do a one soft bank, and just taking a focus while he's at it, getting off the asteroid, but probably won't have anyone to shoot at. Here we have Night Beast just doing a 2 straight, and I believe that he made that. And obviously with his special ability gets a free focus, and I believe took an evade to go with that. And here we have Crassus just doing a 3 bank, obviously wanting to get focus tokens for defense, but still being able to shoot at Eco when he comes back and around. So the 2 focus tokens there, and we'll have Eco deciding to decloak and just doing a forward and banking to the right decloak, followed by a short 1 turn to bring Echo round and to bear on Crassus once again taking the focus, and obviously the 2 focus tokens for the recon specialist there on Echo. And here we have Whisper pointing in the complete opposite wrong way, but managing to decloak backwards, followed by a 1 sharp to the right to maintain her firing arc on the Omicron Group pilot, with obviously having a target lock, so just taking a focus there, going to attempt to maximise damage this turn. So here we have Whisper at range 3, I believe it was, throwing 4 dice and using the target lock there, and then taking the target lock off. Not sure why, probably should have just left it on for fire control systems, but just dealing some more damage there. Wasn't quite sure exactly how much, just a little bit of glare, but more significant chunks off of the Omicron Group pilot. So here we have obviously Whisper did decide to recloak, and here we'll have Echo just double checking that there was arc, which clearly it has. So once again Echo rolling 4 dice against, they were just doing the fire control for Whisper, and it was unfortunately for Echo that was 3 blanks and a hit versus a 1 dodge from Crassus and no damage from Echo this turn. Here we have Night Beast at range 1, just throwing another 1 or 2 damage, and I believe there was a critical in there as well, and it would seem it's quite likely that not quite enough at this point to remove the shuttle from the board. So here we have Crassus at the rear arc, shooting at the Echo, and only getting 1 hit through, and obviously Echo rolling plenty of dodges there. So here we have the Omicron Group pilot once again endeavouring to get itself in a position where it can shoot back again, so doing a 2 bank and then again using the engine upgrade to get a bit of distance on the chasing Night Beast there. So here we do have Night Beast just doing a 1 tight there to try and get some shots on the shuttle, whilst obviously trying to avoid the asteroid that's right in front of it. So here we have Crassus deciding to trying to optimise his front mounted heavy laser cannon, so deciding to do a K turn, just seeing whether or not it's going to get past Whisper, but as it seems it's not, unfortunately, what's going to happen, so just ends up bumping there and taking a stress, so not so good for Crassus at this point. Still has obviously the rear firing arc, but being stressed and not being able to maximise the heavy laser cannon is a little bit problematic. So here we have with Echo dancing around as she does, so flitting around the asteroid there, and then doing a two-turn to come into the once again take into the open flank of Crassus Trellix. So once again Crassus not getting a shot this turn, and here we will have Whisper just decloaking forward, and ever so slightly doing a very tight one turn there, obviously hoping to catch Echo off guard if Echo had come around the other side of the asteroid, but wasn't the case in the end. So I believe didn't have firing arc there, so action for Whisper is to barrel roll and attempt to jump into arc and get a shot off against Whisper with her against Echo with her cloak down. Just trying to optimise the right location for the barrel roll there, so just pushing the bar back and just trying to ensure that there's an arc clipping on Echo. Just really trying to line it up, see if it's going to make it. Obviously will need to be a range check as well. It's pretty much on the button there, so we're just checking there, and as it turns out it is just managing to get into arc, so throw 4 unmodified red dice against Echo, and just the 2 hits, but yeah, not quite sure why. We'll throw 5 dice there, but never mind. Should have only been 3, but in the end, Whisper cloaks up without but indeed uses the fire control system to relock. So here we have again taking more shots at the Crassus Trellix, and dealing at least 1 or 2 damage, I believe. There we go, 2 crits, as it were. Not quite sure what those crits were. I don't think they were particularly problematic at the time. And then we'll have Night Beast throw some lonely dice at the Omicron Group pilot. So just rolling an eyeball on hit there, so spinning the focus, and unfortunately for the Omicron Group pilot, rolling 0 agility or 0 dodges, and ending up being removed from the board. So here we have Night Beast performing a 1 tight just to get out of the way of that asteroid, and indeed rolling back to try and get back into the fight with the remaining Echo to try and score some hits on Echo. So here we have Crassus, obviously still stressed from the attempted K-turn, so just doing a gentle 1 bank and throwing out a couple of focus from the recon specialist. And then we will have Echo decloak, and Will's deciding to decloak forward and to the left before he does his manoeuvre, and decides that he was going to do a straight manoeuvre, but didn't quite pick that one correctly, and ends up bumping into Whisper. I think the plan was to try and get out of arc of Whisper, whilst at the same time maybe squeezing an arc on Night Beast perhaps, but so obviously Whisper deciding what to do, just looking at the dial there, seeing what the right option is, and in the end Whisper decloaks and ends up decloaking back into the right. just deciding what the right course of action is with regards to manoeuvring, and indeed the selected manoeuvre was the tight one to the left, so managing to come back and around and quite likely be at range 1 with the target lock and probably a focus of Whisper. So yep, just taking the Echo, sorry, there. So here we have 5 dice at range 1 with target lock and a focus against the 2 dice on Echo there. So as it was, just rolling all pictures and just needing to spend the focus. So so 5 hits. So it must have been 2 very lucky naked evades from Whisper. From Echo. But obviously with Echo not having anything to shoot at, can't activate the advanced cloaking device. So then we have Crassus, and he rolled enough damage there, I believe, to finish off Echo. So that was the end of Echo, and victory for one Imperial side. So there we have it. As I said, Imperial victory. Unfortunately for the Omicron group pilot, parking on an asteroid, didn't actually get to shoot, and neither did Fel. So poor old Echo was trying to carry the team, but unfortunately didn't quite make it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.